quiet village nestled between lush green hills, a serene bamboo grove stood bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. A gentle rustling of leaves whispered secrets to the night as crickets serenaded the stars. This tranquil setting held an air of magic, for within its depths lay a mystery waiting to unfold. A bamboo cutter, a humble man with kind eyes and a heart full of love, ventured into the grove one fateful evening. Each step, he felt drawn deeper into nature's embrace, guided by an unseen force. He wandered among the towering stalks. Something caught his eye, an unusual shimmer emanating from one particular bamboo shoot. Intrigued, he approached it, kneeling down to inspect this radiant sight more closely. To his astonishment, as he gently tapped the stalk with his hand, it split open like a delicate flower blooming in springtime. Inside lay a tiny girl wrapped in light, a vision so exquisite that she seemed sculpted from starlight itself. Her skin glowed with an ethereal luminescence, and even in her infancy, there was wisdom reflected in her innocent gaze. Overwhelmed by awe and tenderness, the bamboo cutter lifted her tenderly from her cradle of wood. He hurried back home to his wife with excitement bubbling in his chest. Together they marveled at their newfound treasure, their hearts swelling with joy and gratitude for this miraculous gift bestowed upon them by fate itself. They named her Kaguya, after the bright moon that illuminated their nights. Days turned into months and months into years. Kaguya blossomed under the nurturing care of her earthly parents. He grew not only into a stunning young woman, but also possessed intelligence that surpassed those around her. Parents showered her with affection and guidance. Kaguya's laughter echoed through their home like sweet music, filling every corner with warmth and light. Villagers from near and far spoke in hushed tones about Kaguya's beauty and kindness. She became a beacon of hope within their lives during challenging times. Children played at her feet, while elders sought her counsel on matters both trivial and profound. She listened intently to each story, shared a gentle soul, weaving connections throughout the community. But this idyllic existence lingered an unspoken feeling, as if time itself was shifting beneath them like shadows dancing along sunlit pathways. Moon shone brighter than ever overhead as seasons changed. Whispers drifted on the wind, carrying tales of destiny intertwined within Kaguya's origins, words that hinted towards something greater beyond what lay before them. Moments when twilight descended upon their home, not unlike tonight, Kaguya often gazed up at the stars, twinkling above, silently contemplating who she truly was and where she belonged. Just as surely as dawn follows darkness, a calling awaited beyond this earthly realm, a celestial song echoing softly through time, urging her toward unknown wonders, yet to be revealed. Night draped its velvet cloak over the land again, tonight underneath shimmering constellations that danced playfully overhead. The bamboo cutter sighed, contentedly knowing life remained beautifully intertwined within his family's simple joys amidst growing mysteries lingering just beyond reach. In the days following Kaguya's enchanting transformation into a young woman, whispers of her beauty traveled through the valleys and mountains. A bamboo grove where she resided became a sanctuary of admiration and reverence. Each morning, villagers would gather to catch a glimpse of her radiant smile, while her laughter echoed like music through the leaves, enchanting all who heard it. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple. 5 noble suitors began their journeys toward Kaguya's home. They each had heard tales of her extraordinary charm and were determined to win her heart. Prince Ishikawa was first to arrive. His reputation as a brave warrior preceded him. He rode into the grove on a magnificent steed, clad in armor that shimmered under the moonlight. His heart raced at the thought of meeting Kaguya. He brought with him an offering, a delicate golden sword said to possess protective powers, symbolizing his strength and valor. Next came Lord Takeda, whose wealth was known far and wide. He arrived in a lavish carriage adorned with silk from distant lands. With him were priceless jewels sparkling like stars in the night sky. He presented them to Kaguya with flourish. He expressed his desire to shower her with gifts befitting someone so divine. Duke Yashimura followed closely behind, carrying only parchment and ink. Known for his eloquence as a poet, he sought to capture Kaguya's essence in words. Upon arriving at her side, he spoke of love's beauty under the twinkling stars above them, while striving to enchant her with verses that flowed like gentle streams. Count Sato entered next. Cleverness was his greatest asset. With an air of confidence, he shared elaborate schemes meant to impress Kaguya, his strategic mind racing ahead, as he tried to foresee what would capture her attention most profoundly. Finally came Baron Hoshino, gazing up towards the heavens, filled with wonderment about Kaguya's celestial origins. Astronomer by trade, he arrived clutching scrolls filled with constellations and celestial patterns that danced before his eyes each night in search of answers about why this moon princess had graced Earth. Each suitor approached Kaguya one after another, beneath the soft glow of moonlight. They laid their hearts bare before her, and made grand declarations that swirled around them like fragrant petals caught in a gentle breeze. Amid such fervent attention and affection directed toward her, Kaguya remained serene but pensive. Appreciated their efforts the bravery shown by Prince Ishikawa, or sweet sonnets composed by Duke Yashimura. She felt no spark igniting within herself for any one man over another. And that she decided upon an unusual course. Trials would be set for those wishing for her hand. Glimmer appeared in her eyes as she devised challenges designed not just to test strength or wealth, but also wisdom and creativity, a reflection of what truly mattered in matters of love. The first challenge fell upon Prince Ishikawa. Retrieving an elusive fire-rat robe hidden deep within treacherous mountains, tested both mightiness and determination against danger itself, a trial worthy enough for such valorous nobility. With tasks laid out before each suitor swiftly unfolding ahead like petals blooming in springtime sunrays shining bright, it became clear that these noblemen would need more than mere grandeur if they wished ever again to bask under Kaguya's spellbinding presence. The real question lingered. Who among them could truly prove himself worthy? As days passed in the peaceful village, fears grew stronger among the townsfolk regarding Kaguya's ethereal beauty. Each morning brought new suitors, noblemen from distant lands who traveled great distances to seek her hand in marriage. They arrived with grand gestures, adorned in fine silks and radiant jewels, eager to win the heart of the Moon Princess. Among them was Prince Ishikawa, a brave warrior renowned for his strength and valor. He spoke of battles fought and victories earned, yet Kaguya remained composed and gentle amid his tales of glory. Lord Takeda followed closely behind, a wealthy merchant whose eyes sparkled with admiration as he offered exquisite gifts, each more dazzling than the last, but still, Kaguya's heart remained untouched. Duke Yashimura, an eloquent poet captivated by Kaguya's grace, brought with him scrolls filled with verses dedicated to her beauty. He recited sonnets under moonlit nights while shadows danced around them, yet even his words failed to pierce through the veil encasing her heart. Count Sato approached with cunning strategies designed to charm her spirit. However, cleverness alone could not sway Kaguya's resolve. Lastly came Baron Hoshino, an astronomer whose fascination for celestial bodies mirrored Kaguya's own mystery. He would gaze at the stars and speak of their secrets, as if inviting her back to where she belonged, yet he too could not decipher the riddle that lay within her soul. One by one, each suitor endeavored valiantly, but left feeling defeated as they faced trials set forth by Kaguya herself, a reflection of their worthiness presented through tests so intricate, it seemed only destiny had woven them into existence. The prince ventured into perilous mountains, seeking a fire-rat robe, rumored to grant invincibility, while Lord Takeda sought treasures hidden deep within dragon-infested waters. Duke Yashimura struggled against time crafting poetic verses that captured love's essence within fleeting moments, all met with failure, despite their fervent attempts. Count Sato devised schemes laden with intellect but ultimately realized that no amount of wit could outshine Kaguya's own wisdom and clarity of purpose. Hoshino turned to constellations above attempting to read messages written across vast skies, yet even they remained elusive like shadows slipping through his fingers. With each passing day, tinged by frustration, felt heavy upon all who pursued her affection, and amid this growing tension within her heart emerged conflicting emotions. Compassion intertwined with sorrow as she witnessed the disappointment. Flickering in their eyes, yet deep inside lingered a certainty, a truth rooted firmly within her being that echoed louder than any sweet promise or grand gesture bestowed upon her by these noble men. There existed a calling that transcended earthly bonds that beckoned fiercely from beyond shimmering horizons. So it was on one fateful night, when silver beams poured down from an ample moon illuminating everything around it, Kaguya stood bathed in its light, contemplating choices made thus far, when celestial beings descended softly like whispers. Harried on gentle winds, glimmering forms adorned in luminescence akin to starlight itself, they gathered around her, revealing truths long kept hidden beneath layers of human experience, unveiling origins shaped by cosmic wonders far removed from earthly woes. Destiny etched among galaxies awaiting fulfillment. Born between two worlds, the family who loved unconditionally and embraced every facet of who she had become, and an inheritance tied intimately with celestial realms beyond comprehension, Kaguya felt waves of grief wash over her soul as understanding dawned like sunrise, breaking through darkened skies. Her fate awaited beyond reach, yet resonated deeply within. Love entwined gracefully amongst bittersweet sorrow, as tears welled up, reflecting both joy for memories forged together amidst pain, knowing farewell loomed closer than imagined. As the trials commenced, Kaguya watched each suitor embark on their quests. The bamboo cutter and his wife stood nearby, their hearts heavy with concern for their daughter, yet filled with a sense of pride in her cleverness. They knew well that Kaguya was no ordinary girl. She was destined for something greater. Prince Ishikawa, fueled by courage and determination, set off into the rugged mountains. Days passed as he faced fierce winds and steep cliffs in pursuit of the fire-at robe. His bravery shone bright as he confronted dangers that would have sent lesser men fleeing. However, despite all his strength, he returned empty-handed, humbled but respectful of Kaguya's wisdom. Next came Lord Takeda, who sought out the Dragon King's lair deep beneath the sea. With an armada at his disposal and riches to offer, he believed himself invincible. Even with his wealth and resources, he found himself thwarted by cunning traps laid to protect the jewels. Each attempt met with failure, until he too returned disheartened. Duke Yashimura arrived with ink-stained fingers after hours of fervent writing beneath starlit skies. He presented a poem crafted from heartfelt emotions, a sonnet woven from dreams and moonlit reveries, but Kaguya listened intently, yet felt it lacked the true essence she sought. Love should encompass more than mere words alone. Count Sato devised schemes that flickered like candlelight across a darkened room, strategies so intricate they could ensnare any heart, yet proved inadequate against Kaguya's sharp intellect. Time after time, his plans crumbled under scrutiny as each failed trial chipped away at his confidence. Aaron Hashino gazed skyward, seeking answers hidden among constellations. He unraveled tales from ancient scrolls about celestial beings, but ultimately struggled to decipher messages meant only for him, the connection between them elusive as ours slipped through grasping fingers. These noblemen departed one by one, filled with respect, yet marked by disappointment. Kaguya felt a bittersweet sorrow wash over her. Compassion stirred within her heart. She cherished their efforts, but understood that none could ever truly comprehend her longing, nor capture her spirit, bound by both worlds, the earthly and celestial realms, calling to her soul like distant. It was resonating through time itself. Quiet moments spent reflecting upon fleeting encounters, shared amid lanternlit nights. Kaguya wrestled with feelings blossoming inside her chest alongside growing knowledge of what awaited beyond this earthly plane, a destiny illuminated beneath shimmering stars, whispering secrets, meant solely for those willing to listen. On such a night, when fate intervened once more, enveloped in tranquility, yet brimming with uncertainty, celestial beings descended upon Kaguya, under a full moon casting ethereal light over everything around them, a revelation unfurling like petals kissed gently by dawn's first rays, spilling warmth onto chilly earth below. Slash and backslash and the celestial beings revealed truths long hidden from both Kaguya and her beloved parents, that she hailed not simply from this world, but rather belonged to another realm altogether, the moon, where beauty abounds amidst purity untouched by earthly woes. Backslash, and this truth struck deeply within her, torn between love for those who had raised and nurtured her since infancy, and the undeniable call from above it, became evident that soon she must make a choice. /n in such moments, where silence echoed louder than words spoken aloud, she felt warmth cradle her spirit amidst heartbreak, forming an invisible bond connecting them all forevermore. Slash and backslash, and meanwhile, back home, the bamboo cutter sensed shadows looming on horizon lines while gazing toward heaven-painted soft hues fading into twilight shades just before dusk fell once again upon familiar surroundings. Each passing day brought closer the inevitable separation, looming ahead a departure veiled in sorrow mingling hope, together woven tightly through cherished memories, shared amongst family, as laughter faded into whispers echoing softly around bamboo stalks. Altering gentle souls lingering behind. Slash and backslash and thus began their final days together, a tapestry woven with threads spun from stories past illuminating moments, spent basking under sunlight, dancing playfully across swaying leaves, while precious recollections remained etched eternally. Within every heartbeat shared between father, mother, daughter, bound unbreakably, despite fate's uncertain twist stretching far beyond mere earthly existence, in the days that followed Kaguya's revelations. Profound stillness enveloped the bamboo grove. The bamboo cutter and his wife sensed a change in the air, as if the very essence of their beloved daughter had shifted toward a destiny they could barely comprehend. Each sunset brought with it an unspoken sorrow, for they felt deep within their hearts that time was slipping away. Bamboo cutter often found himself wandering through the grove, reminiscing about those early days when he first discovered Kaguya nestled inside the glowing stalk. Memories of her laughter echoed through the bamboo, mingling with the rustling leaves a bittersweet melody that tugged at his heartstrings. He longed to hold on to every moment, but understood that fate had a plan beyond their earthly existence. Kaguya spent her last days on Earth surrounded by her parents, sharing stories of joy and laughter under the moonlit sky. They would sit together outside their humble home, wrapped in warmth as gentle breezes carried fragrant scents from blooming flowers nearby. Each shared memory became a treasure etched into their hearts, a reminder of their love that would remain eternal despite what lay ahead. Dusk fell one evening. Kaguya gazed up at the shimmering stars above. They sparkled like diamonds scattered across velvet fabric. Thoughts swirled in her mind, visions of her life intertwined with those she cherished, yet knowing she belonged to something greater than this world could offer. Her yearned for freedom, while another clung desperately to what she knew as home. The bamboo cutter's wife sat beside Kaguya, sensing her daughter's internal struggle without uttering a single word. He reached out gently to grasp Kaguya's hand, fingers intertwining like delicate vines growing towards sunlight. That touch was an understanding deeper than words could convey. Love poured between them like an unbreakable bond, transcending all boundaries. On one particular night bathed in silver moonlight, whispers filled the air once more as celestial beings began to gather at the edge of their grove. Luminous figures shimmered softly against darkness, their presence illuminating even the deepest corners where shadows lingered. They embodied grace and wisdom as ethereal beings who understood Kaguya's plight better than any mortal ever could. With hearts heavy yet resolute, Kaguya's parents approached these beings not with fear, but with reverence, recognizing them as guides leading their precious child back toward homecoming among stars overhead. Exchanged were gentle and soothing, each syllable wrapped around them like warm embraces, meant to ease burdens weighing heavily upon their souls. Time for farewell drew near, a moment so poignant, it felt suspended within eternity itself, as luminous clouds gathered above, casting soft glows down upon this sacred place, where memories mingled freely amidst fragrant blossoms blooming. Just outside sightlines held dear by all present, Kaguya stood before her earthly family, one last time, tears glistening beneath starlight, reflecting both sorrow and gratitude shining brightly through despair, clouding over heads below. He whispered promises held tenderly within heartstrings. They would never forget one another, nor cease loving fiercely, despite distance separating them in realms unknown. With final blessings exchanged amongst tear-stained cheeks, kissed lightly by cooling winds carrying echoes far beyond reach, Kaguya ascended slowly into awaiting chariots woven from silver threads, spun under watchful eyes watching over from. Far high above darkened skies filled with endless possibilities unfolding onward. As she rose higher among constellations glimmering faintly below, the silence enveloped everything left behind like an embrace lingering long after lovers. Parted ways till next sunrise illuminates paths anew. And thus ended this chapter marked beautifully by love intertwined endlessly across universes connected forevermore, as the moon hung high in the night sky. casting its soft glow over the bamboo grove. Kaguya stood alone in quiet contemplation. Celestial beings had revealed her true nature. She was a princess of the moon, destined to return to her heavenly home. Profound sorrow settled deep within her heart as she faced the reality of her impending departure. Kaguya wandered through the grove, where memories bloomed like delicate flowers in spring. Flashes of laughter shared with her parents, their warm smiles illuminating even the darkest nights. Each step felt heavier than the last, as she recalled moments spent beneath starlit skies and tender conversations that shaped their bond. Meanwhile, back at their humble dwelling, the bamboo cutter and his wife sensed an unsettling change. They quietly exchanged glances filled with unspoken fears. Their hearts ached with understanding that Kaguya's time on Earth was drawing to a close. They prepared for what lay ahead, savoring every fleeting moment, while grappling with feelings of loss mingled with gratitude for having been blessed by such a miraculous child. Those final days together, they reminisced about their journey as a family, the joy of raising Kaguya from an infant found within bamboo stalks to the radiant woman she had become. These echoed around them like cherished melodies, a tapestry woven from laughter, shared during evening meals and lessons learned under watchful eyes, amidst gentle breezes rustling through leaves. On one particularly serene evening, they gathered beneath a sprawling sakura tree bursting into bloom. Petals danced softly in the air like whispers carried on the wind, as Kaguya's mother spoke fondly of dreams nurtured together, since childhood hopes now tinged with melancholy, knowing they would soon diverge along different paths. Kaguya listened intently, her heart swelling both with love and sorrow. He cherished every word spoken. It felt like an embrace wrapping around her spirit tightly against uncertainty looming just beyond sight. Moments when silence lingered longer than usual, glances exchanged between parents and daughter expressed emotions too profound for mere words. Connection forged through unconditional love, despite fates unknown. As twilight descended upon them, everything in hues reminiscent of gentle dawns, they took turns sharing wishes made while gazing up toward shimmering stars above, a way to honor bonds forged here below that would transcend earthly realms regardless of distance. Separating them later on, /n with each breath taken amid flickering fireflies dancing above it, became clear that this farewell held more significance than any could fully grasp. It mirrored reflections cast upon waters still yet rippled by currents shaping destinies entwined forevermore. /n thus began their last night together, draped under constellations sparkling brightly overhead, signaling celestial movements, gently urging Kaguya closer toward fate awaiting patiently beyond earthly confines. /n as dawn approached, whispers grew stronger among trees surrounding them. Echoes resonating softly, reminding all present about promises whispered beneath moonlit skies long ago. Their bond would endure timelessly, even across dimensions far apart. /n on this poignant night, filled with bittersweet beauty, a luminous cloud gathered above, heralding arrival of ethereal chariots poised ready to guide Kaguya homeward once more. As the days wore on, heavy stillness settled over the bamboo grove. The bamboo cutter and his wife could feel the impending farewell approaching like a gentle tide, washing over their hearts with bittersweet anticipation. Each sunset brought with it an unspoken sorrow, a silent acknowledgement that time with their beloved Kaguya was slipping away. Quiet moments, the bamboo cutter wandered through the familiar paths of the grove, reflecting on the early days when he had discovered Kaguya nestled inside that radiant stalk. Memories flooded his mind, her laughter echoing among the bamboo, her first steps taken under watchful eyes, and all those cherished moments spent together as a family. Each memory was like a delicate petal carried by the wind, beautiful yet fleeting. Kaguya embraced her final days on Earth, surrounded by her parents' love. They shared stories of joy and adventure beneath the soft glow of moonlight that spilled gently across their humble home. Warmth from one another, they would sit close together outside as fragrant breezes wafted through blooming flowers, nearby a symphony of scents mingling with tender recollections. Dusk enveloped them one evening. Kaguya gazed up at the myriad stars twinkling above, their brilliance reminiscent of countless diamonds scattered upon an endless canvas. Then her heart swelled conflicting emotions. She cherished every moment spent with her earthly family, while yearning for freedom towards her celestial home, the moon calling to her spirit like a siren's song. Kaguya's internal conflict without needing to voice it aloud. Her mother reached out gently to clasp Kaguya's hand, a gesture filled with understanding deeper than words could convey. Her fingers intertwined like vines striving toward sunlight, signifying an unbreakable bond forged from love transcending earthly ties. On one such night bathed in silvery moonlight, whispers filled the air once again as ethereal beings began gathering at the edges of their grove. These luminous figures shimmered softly against deepening shadows. They embodied grace and wisdom, possessing knowledge about Kaguya's journey that extended beyond mere mortal comprehension. Kaguya's parents approached these celestial beings, not with fear, but reverence, recognizing them as guides who were here to lead their precious daughter back home among stars overhead. Hushed tones enriched by compassion and warmth, they exchanged words meant to soothe burdens weighing heavily upon their souls. The moment for goodbye drew near, a poignant instant suspended between eternity and this world, as glowing clouds gathered above, casting ethereal light down upon this sacred space, where memories mingled freely amidst blossoms vibrant yet delicate in nature. Standing before her earthly family one last time, tears glistened in Kaguya's eyes under starlit skies, reflections of both sorrow and gratitude for all they'd shared together, illuminating even darkened corners of uncertainty lingering within hearts below. He whispered promises born from love. They would never forget one another nor cease loving fiercely, despite physical distance separating them across realms unknown. With final blessings exchanged amongst tear-stained cheeks, kissed gently by cooling winds carrying echoes far beyond reach, Kaguya ascended slowly into awaiting chariots woven from silver threads spun beneath watchful celestial eyes. Observing carefully from afar, high above darkened heavens, filled with endless possibilities unfolding onward. As she rose higher among constellations shimmering faintly below, a profound silence enveloped everything left behind like an embrace lingering long after lovers parted ways, until next sunrise illuminates paths anew. And thus concluded this chapter marked beautifully by love intertwined endlessly across universes, connected forevermore, an eternal bond between daughter and parents, now transformed into whispers floating through time itself, reminding all who listen that true love knows no boundaries, even those woven between worlds. The silver glow of the moon illuminated the bamboo grove. Kaguya stood quietly, absorbing the weight of what was to come. The celestial beings had shared with her a truth that echoed in her heart. She was a princess of the moon, destined to ascend back to her heavenly home. This revelation brought forth an overwhelming sorrow that settled deep within her spirit. Kaguya walked slowly through the grove, where memories bloomed vividly around her like fragrant flowers kissed by spring. Flashes of laughter, shared with her loving parents, their warm smiles forever etched in her mind, brightening even the darkest nights. Each step felt increasingly heavy, as she recalled moments spent beneath starlit skies and tender conversations that shaped their unbreakable bond. Their humble dwelling, the bamboo cutter and his wife sensed an unsettling change in the air. Exchanged glances filled with unspoken fears. Their hearts ached with understanding that Kaguya's time among them was drawing to a close. With each passing day, they prepared for what lay ahead, savoring every fleeting moment, while grappling with feelings of loss intermingled with gratitude for having been blessed by such a miraculous child. Those final days together, they reminisced about their journey as a family, the joy woven into each memory, from raising Kaguya as an infant found within bamboo stalks to witnessing her bloom into a radiant young woman. Stories flowed around them like cherished melodies, a tapestry crafted from laughter during evening meals and lessons learned under watchful eyes, amidst gentle breezes rustling through leaves. Particularly serene evening, they gathered beneath a sprawling sakura tree bursting into bloom. Petals danced softly in the air like whispers carried on fragrant winds, as Kaguya's mother spoke fondly of dreams nurtured together, since childhood hopes now tinged with melancholy, knowing they would soon diverge along different paths. Kaguya listened intently, her heart swelled both with love and sorrow. Every word spoken felt like an embrace wrapping around her spirit tightly against uncertainty, looming just beyond sight. Moments when silence lingered longer than usual, glances exchanged between parents and daughter expressed emotions too profound for mere words. A connection forged through unconditional love, despite fates unknown. As twilight descended upon them, everything in soft hues reminiscent of gentle dawns, they took turns sharing wishes made while gazing up toward shimmering stars above a way to honor bonds forged here below that would transcend earthly realms regardless of distance. Separating them later on, with each breath taken amid flickering fireflies dancing above it, became clear this farewell held more significance than anyone could fully grasp. It mirrored reflections cast upon still waters, yet rippled by currents shaping destinies. Entwined forevermore, us began their last night together, draped under constellations sparkling brightly overhead, signaling celestial movements, gently urging Kaguya closer toward fate, awaiting patiently beyond earthly confines. As dawn approached, whispers grew stronger among trees surrounding them, echoes resonating softly, reminding all present about promises whispered beneath moonlit skies long ago. Their bond would endure timelessly, even across dimensions far apart. On this poignant night filled with bittersweet beauty, a luminous cloud gathered above, heralding arrival of ethereal chariots, poised ready to guide Kaguya homeward once more.